Hi, this is John with Flat 6 Motorsports. Today we're going to bring you a product review of the IPD Plenum for the Porsche Panamera Turbo 970. Stay tuned. IPD has been in the game for a while in the Porsche world. They were famous for taking what used to be the T design in most intake manifolds within the Porsche 911s, the Caymans, the Boxsters, etc., and made a Y, a 2-into-1 merge collector that improved the throttle response and added power. As more Porsches have become turbocharged, they've taken that design into Y pipes and plenums for turbo vehicles. So we're going to review the Porsche Panamera Turbo, the 970, which runs from 2010 to 2016. Look at the product. We'll give you some performance numbers. We will have a dyno coming later. We're going to rent some time at the end of the month just to show you the dyno plots before and after. And we'll also have an install guide for you. So I want to show and highlight a few key differences between the IPD Plenum and the OEM factory Plenum. Let's start with the OEM. So plastic piece. You can see the 2-into-1 design. It has some metal reinforced inlets right there, but the rest of it, try to get the light lined up on this, is plastic. You can see the ridge there where it connects. Not the smoothest of transitions in that merge collector. You also have plastic as a material. It's come a long way. Definitely good for the job, but as you reach higher boost levels, this is going to be prone to cracking, especially under heat. Now the IPD Plenum is an aluminum piece, actually very surprisingly lightweight. I guess that's why they use aluminum. You can see a little bit of the lubricant in there, and this has been on the car, just FYI. That's why you see a few marks on it, but it's got the 2-into-1 collector piece. Nice kind of end tanks where they meet the factory tubing, and as you can see, similar to a golf ball, you have these dimples carved out, and that's been studied to be more effective with airflow. And then you can see the 2-into-1 design as well. That merge collector actually accentuates out further, and that helps reduce air turbulence. And you can see it's a very efficient design, quite different than the factory piece. And this has been engineered. This has been studied to increase airflow, and it's all about air velocity. And what that helps, this design, what it helps with is reducing some of that turbulence and increasing the velocity of the air, which is going to add power. Okay, so driving impressions after the Plenum was installed. Well, I would say it's a pretty good product. Certainly noticed the throttle response was improved slightly. Everything felt a little smoother under boost as well. So I noticed a little more around town than under full open throttle. The car does move pretty fast. I don't know that you're going to feel a significant amount of difference, just back to back. We do have performance numbers, so let's cover those. We did a 30 to 80 mile an hour pull starting in second gear, manual mode. This has Porsche Sport exhaust that was activated, and we were in Sport Plus mode with suspension all the way lowered. Let the turbo spooled up, basically started about 20 miles an hour. Turbos were basically in full boost when we hit 30, pulled all the way to 80 miles an hour. We did this to control for any variances in traction or launch rather than do a 0 to 60 or a quarter mile time. So this should be a really true gauge of how well this Plenum performs. So let's cover the numbers. So stock from 30 to 80 miles an hour, the Panamera did that run in 4.49 seconds. After the Plenum was installed, we did the same polls. We did 5 polls each, same location, very similar weather and wind. The Panamera Turbo with the IPD Plenum ran it in 4.38 seconds. So that's a 0.11 second improvement in the acceleration time, again from 30 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. Happens pretty quick in the Panamera. That is an improvement of about 2.5% in acceleration. So all in all, for a product that really just optimizes airflow, I think that's a pretty solid gain. You're certainly not going to see a half a second drop off with a modification like this, but for the price point, I think it's a very good product. Definitely would recommend it to people out there looking to get a little more juice out of their Panamera. We will validate some of this later as we start tuning our Panamera to see how it affects higher boost Panameras. I do have an inclination that as we push more air into the throttle body with the turbochargers, we will probably recognize a larger gain with that Plenum. But overall, pretty impressive. We will have a dyno posted. It'll be a supplemental video, and I'll link it once we have that available, probably at the end of the month. We're looking at the end of April 2017 on the dyno, and that'll show before and after. We don't have a dyno in-house, so we got to rent time, and we also want to do that with some other tuning testing that we'll be doing. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed it. Check us out at flat6motorsports.com. Thanks again.